It's 5:30 p.m. on, I'm looking up to see, oh, here we are, Tuesday the 21st of May 2024 here in Australia. I was about to go, and it's winter time, so I'm rugged up, and I was about to go and cook myself a meal, and I got a flash from my wonderful friends. Geez, I haven't even prepared myself. Sorry, folks. Excuse the mug. Got a message from my spirit friends to say that they'd like me to record this. So I've already done a dedication, and this is probably, that's not the first time, but it's more one where I have no idea what they're going to say. So that's a good example of how my spirit friends work and how we interact. So I'll be looking anywhere but at the screen. So here we go. So gracious good evening to my wonderful friends in spirit. Gracious good evening to you, Pierre. So it's a bit hard. I'm having trouble concentrating with the machine going. We'll take control. We're the ones that call this. You sure did. And you don't mind me having a slurp on my brown lemonade? Absolutely not. Okay. When you're ready, my friends. For how many years have we been saying to you that the economy of the world that people are being told about was false? That we're being lied, that you, the human side of us, we're all one, but the human side has been lied to deliberately and willfully, and that a time is coming where there'd be a crash like never before seen. Well, our message to you is to say that it started, and it's going to be within the next, we'll say 12 months. But there are companies and businesses already starting to complain about having to sell off and having to move into different realms and to reduce. The one that we're aware of that's there in Australia is a major telecommunications telco is in the process of reducing and cutting back because it can't afford to compete. At least that's its claim. Whereas the actual fact is the money wheel that's been going around, and we've explained this before, the money wheel is just borrowing to borrow to borrow to borrow, and somewhere along the line, the dog is caught up with the tail. And it's like, well, we can't keep on going like this. So our message now, like never before, is to anyone who is watching or listening to this broadcast, this vlog, live within your means. Stop borrowing. Stop living off borrowed money. If half your own stuff in your dwelling, where you are living right now, you're paying off that you don't own, start working, please. Start working now to pay off those debts and live within your means, because the crash that's coming is worse than anything we've ever seen, and it's going to be so powerful and so painful to the small folk, to the little people, not to the big end of town. They're going to suffer all right, but they've got a balloon around them. They can sell off 25 yachts and 25 helicopters and 40 Maseratis or whatever and bring that money in if they can sell them. But you can't. You, the average person in the street, you've got to work to reduce your debt, to reduce the circumstances that are around you. Now, we've said this before, this is not new, but it's new in the sense that the crash is about to happen. Now, it could be within, 10 years ago, we were saying this crash was coming, and of course you were saying only about 5 years ago, well, what the hell happened to the crash? And your friend Helen got the same message, and she was saying, well, what happened to the crash? We were giving that out to warn because we weren't sure how much they were going to keep the borrowing happening. And the more they borrowed or bought on borrowed money, the worse the situation. All right, so where we are now, where the world is now, where humanity, and we're a part of it. We live up here in spirit, but we are part of that collective consciousness is in the physical world, but it's also in the spiritual world. And we work together as much as we can. We haven't been for a very long time, as we told you in one of our blogs. We can't, because the human world has just abandoned us and won't listen. They're praying to the material world, the god of mammon. So now what we're saying to you, and I know you have a time frame problem and you may have to edit this to fit in, is this. To those of you out there who can, who are planning, for example, to fly off to Europe or have a holiday, which may be something you don't really do, that you really do or don't often have the opportunity to do, think about it. You think about buying a new car? Think about it, unless you've got the cash. If you're thinking about any other things that you want to buy that aren't necessary, think about it in view of what we're saying. Now, we'll come back as when the opportunity arises for us to do so and give you more information. But, Pete, we would highly suggest that you jump the queue with all of those vlogs that you have planned to put out there. Jump the queue. Please get this out as soon as you can, because this is not something that we're just making up. As you know, and those who have been reading your blogs, we've been saying this a very, very long time. And by getting the message out now, there's a chance for some, sadly only some, a very small percentage of people who will listen to this and start looking at, well, how can we reduce our debt? The others are just, it pains us. I mean, we don't want to make you cry, but it's making us cry to think that these people out there who have trusted what they thought was honourable people high up in the system, and they have just ripped the human person, ripped them to shreds. But then, of course, their time is coming, and God help them. If the people of old, who are leaders, who are strung up in the streets, is any example, this will be 10 times worse. This is not a good time coming. Okay, Pete, thank you for allowing us to come through. Thank you to your friends and the people who watch this. Wish we could say something better. Please, tune to us, come to us, listen to us in your mind, not your cheeks, in your mind. Do the meditation Pete talks about. That'll start you on that journey. And we can get to you directly. As the old word says, shalom, which is basically peace be with you all. The peace of the Creator that loves you like you could never know, but who will not interfere. You have to learn from experiences, cause and effect, as a collective. Thanks, Pete. Oh, I haven't had one like that for a long time. Sorry, folks, I get, it's weird, a little dizzy. Okay, I better get back. I've got my dinner over there burning. Thank you. Catch you all later.